Are you done? No? I'm wearing makeup. You're ruining my face. Hey guys, it's Adrian. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to bring you my top 10 books of 2017, as 2018 is finally upon us. It's the time of the year where we all look back at the wonderful things we read, and I have 10 for you. The funny thing when I was picking these top 10 books is that they're not necessarily my top 10 highest ratings. They're just the books that really stuck with me throughout the year and I didn't forget and I really enjoyed. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Coming in at number 10 is Seriously Happy by Jenny Lawson. This was my first nonfiction read of the year, and it made me laugh so much, which is probably why it's my favorite book. There's a dog chewing on my tripod. I will take this opportunity to introduce you to my new puppy. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Oliver. He's my new puppy. He's down here with me while I am filming, and he's been chewing on my tripod. So I thought I'd take the time to introduce you to Oliver. He is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and he is currently almost 10 weeks old. He'll be 10 weeks old tomorrow. We named him Oliver. My husband calls him Oliver because of the Arrow, the show, Oliver. I call him Oliver because of Oliver Twist, but secretly his name is Longbottom because Julie from Pages and Pens, he has a brown bum. So how could I not call him Longbottom? Okay, you gotta stop chewing on my tripod now. Seriously Happy is a memoir by Jenny Lawson talking about her struggles with her various mental health issues. I found this book both very humorous and very eye-opening. It was one of the ones that I did not forget this year, and I would love to read her other book, Let's Pretend That Never Happened. Another memoir by Jenny Lawson, which is said to be just as hysterical, if not more hysterical. Coming in at number 9 is The Handmaid's Tale. This one is one of the books that didn't get the highest ratings for me, but a book that I have not forgotten. The Handmaid's Tale is a dystopian book about a society that takes biblical principles and twists them. Basically, the biblical principle that they're following here is when a husband cannot get his wife pregnant, he is allowed to take upon himself another woman to use as a sort of surrogate mother, but then impregnate her himself. And it's more complicated than that. But this book, sorry I keep looking down, but my dog. This book is really good and really eye-opening. Especially I enjoyed the ending where it kind of like went a little bit into the future, looking back on this period of history in this dystopian world, and I found that very fascinating as well. And I would love if there were more books in this world for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, I enjoyed this book. It was number 9. I gave it a 4 stars and I read it in March. What are you doing? No chewing on my books! You guys are gonna have to deal with the co-host because he's chewing on all my books and that's not okay. No book chewing. Rule number 1. Coming in at number 8 is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This book was so good. I gave this book a 4.5 stars and I read it in July. I really enjoyed this book. In fact, I want my oldest daughter to be reading it soon because it really talks about disabilities and how kids can be really mean and also how kids can really love. And having a disability myself, I found this book to be spot on, absolutely phenomenal, and definitely a recommendation if you have not yet read it. All these books obviously are recommendations if you have not yet read it, but this one in particular, definitely go read it. Coming in at number 7 was Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I read this one in April and it got a 5 stars. This was my first sci-fi read of the year, of several, and it really opened my eyes to sci-fi and I started to enjoy sci-fi a little bit more. You all know Illuminae. I can't open the book and show you because my hands are full, but it's told in various file forms, which made it interesting and it was really fast-paced. I read it in a couple days and the book is huge. It follows a couple named Katie and Ezra who broke up on the day that their planet has been destroyed and attacked, and they get separated on 2 separate ships, and so it follows their communication along with other communications and surveillance. It was really good. I have Gemina. I do plan on reading it quite soon this year because I'm very excited for the next book, which comes out in like a month and a half, so I better get cracking. Coming in at number 6 was Unraveling by Elizabeth Norris. This is the first book in a sci-fi duology. I have read and reviewed both. I will leave the link up here for you so you can go, sorry Oliver, so you can go check those out. This was a fantastic book. I'm not going to tell you much about it because it's best if you go in knowing nothing. The only thing that I knew was that it was about a girl named Janelle and she died and she was woken up by someone from her high school that she vaguely knows, and they have 24 hours to save the world from impending doom. If that doesn't sound like a good book, I don't know what does. You should definitely pick up this duology as well. Alright, we're down to the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is Nevernights by J. Kristoff. I read this one in November and it got a 4.5 stars. I enjoyed this book thoroughly. The only reason that kept me from giving it a 5 stars was that it was a little too dark for me. But it was fantastic. I loved this book. It had sarcastic humor in it. It was dark. It was action-packed. It was great. I want God's Grave so bad, but I need to have it in this cover and I cannot get it on Book Depository in hardback at this moment, so it's gonna have to wait. Patience is a virtue. I'm learning. Coming in at number 4 was a book I read in January, and that is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second book to the Six of Crows duology. This book I loved so much more than the first book. I loved the first book, but this book was phenomenal. Well, they're all phenomenal. You obviously should know this because they're my top 10. But this one was one of the few books that kept me reading till 4 o'clock in the morning because I had to finish it. The cool thing about this book is that Canada is very close and similar to Amsterdam and all of the Dutch words and stuff. I love everything about this book. I love the politics, I love the relationships, especially that they're slow burning, and I love the cast of characters, and I'm very sad that they are gone. Coming in at number 3 is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I have not stopped talking about the Mistborn trilogy since I've read it. I loved it. This one of the 3 are my favorites, is my favorite. The other ones were good. This one was incredible. If you have not yet read a Brandon Sanderson book, or if you're just sort of getting into high fantasy, I recommend this series. It's a great place to start. Coming in at number 2 is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Are you surprised? I have not stopped talking about this book since I read it in July. I think it was July or June or July, I don't remember. But I gave it a 5 stars. It was my first book that introduced me to parallel universes that I've read this year. I have read several after that and I absolutely love them. They're my new favorites, and a couple of you have left me some sci-fi parallel universe recommendations in one of my last videos that I'm very excited to be getting a hold of this year and reading because I love parallel universe books. This is a book that follows a man named Jason Desson, and he wakes up one day and he is who he is, but his family is not his family, and his people at work are not the people that he works with because his job is not the job he has, and he doesn't know if somebody's playing a trick on him or what happens. Oh, so good. Coming in at number 1, again, this one is a book that did not get the highest rating for me. It only got a 4.5 stars because it did have some flaws, but this book was the only book in the history of books that has ever made me cry, and that is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This was my favorite book. Well, I will tell you though, there is trigger warning in here for abuse. So if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, I would not recommend reading this book, but it was fantastic. It follows a couple named Lily and Ryle and their continuous attraction to each other, and it goes back and forth between Lily and her childhood experiences with a boy named Atlas that she met, and everybody's paths cross, and I just can't tell you any more than that because you just gotta read the book. It was good, it was cry-worthy, it really makes you think, and for those of you who have struggled with domestic abuse or parental abuse or any kind of abuse, it's really eye-opening and it will make you cry. My number 1 read of the year is a contemporary. Are you surprised? I know I am, but Colleen Hoover has quickly become one of my favorite authors this year. So that wraps it up for my top 10 for 2017. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments below what was your favorite book of the year, because I am looking to build my TBR for 2018. I've got some great books on there already, but I could totally do with some more. And as usual, if you have not yet, I would love for you to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!